Hi, biologists. So today is June 2nd, and I am posting your Unit 6 QPA. So like I said before, for Unit 6 mini QPA, this is going to be like the revision bundles, in that they're just step-by-step to make it easier for you guys to understand what you need to do and all the information you need to get and the steps before you get to the QPA. So we're working on heredity, inheritance, and variation of traits, and we're putting this in context of what's going on in the world right now. So with the COVID-19 coronavirus hitting the whole world, we are thinking about why are some people more susceptible? What genetic and environmental factors are making them more susceptible? So to do that, you already did mini QPA 1, where you came up with a research question, and now we're going to work toward creating your PSA about the research question. So your research question could have been, why are certain minority groups, such as Black people, more likely to suffer deadly consequences of COVID? Why do people that have asthma or people that have diabetes, why are they more likely to suffer from COVID? And then thinking about the environmental and genetic factors and codominance versus incomplete dominant traits that we talked about. So in step 2, so you're watching this video introduction, so that's great. You're reviewing your bundle, so awesome. Now we can move on to step 2. So you're going to look at how genes interact with the environment. So we really want to see what's going on, and if you need the video transcript, it was here. There it is. It's at the bottom. So if you need a video transcript, you can feel free to read it if you're more of if you learn better by reading, or this. So it's going to talk about how different environmental influences can influence how our genes are expressed and how different things. In this video, it specifically talks about 2 babies having the same gene for likelihood of depression. But because they're in different environments, one is more of a happy, encouraging environment, and the other one is more lonely and isolating, and how that influences their likelihood of depression. Then read this article about polygenic inheritance. So we talked about a little before, and environmental effects. So how some genes are, or some traits are a multitude of genes. So it's not just one specific gene codes for one specific trait. It's more complex than that. You are more complex than that. I am more complex than that. Humans and animals and most living organisms are more complex than that. So you are reading this. So looking at polygenic inheritance, so remember we talked about these giant Punnett squares. So this is an even bigger one than the 16 one that we had. So we just want this big, but this is even showing us. So it's showing us 3 different traits that code for a specific, or 3 different genes that code for a specific trait. And then it shows you the different varying colors depending on the what traits or what genes are being shown in each one. And then environmental factors, so thinking about how environmental factors, so outside factors outside of your body. So whether it be literal environment, like if you're in a really cold or hot environment, how that affects how you look and how you act, or if it's your social environment, so how people are treating you, how you're interacting with the world. So read this. Then there's another article for you to read about environments and behavior. So genes, environment, and our behavior. So how do genes influence what we are and what we do? So you're going to read about this, so we talked about social life, social experiences, so how your life experience influence you as a person. And then finally, we're going to watch this video on the biology of skin color. So it's going to talk about how skin color is a product of both genetic and environmental factors. And then from watching this video, if you need any of these materials here, transcript, Spanish dub here, so please click on that as needed for yourself. So you are going to use this video to make a claim about how skin color is a product of genetic and environmental factors. So do this on a separate piece of paper, do this on your computer if you want, just you're making a claim and then sending it to me. So claiming, how is skin color both a product of genetic and environmental influences? Finally, we're going to work on our QPA, which is a continuation of mini QPA 1. So you are going to come up with a PSA, so it can be a video, a PowerPoint, whatever you want. It can be a newsletter, a pamphlet, whatever you want, to show the science behind how specific people are affected by COVID. So you are going to make sure that you create an educational PSA on why certain groups are more affected by this. And then you are going to be sure to include all this in your final product. So your research question, so mini QPA 1, I'll put that here. Mini QPA 1. Not mini QPA explanation point, mini QPA 1. And then why your group, why is this group more vulnerable? What are the genetic environmental risk factors? And then any websites that you use. So make sure you include those things. And then of course we have our, perfect. So good luck, you guys.